We should be wiped now. Yeah, we're good now.
Okay.
Number 16.
Motherfucker. OBS is doing the thing again.
I'm telling you, man. It hates you because you don't have Windows 10 official.
Yeah, I'd recently looked... Wait, what? Yes, I do.
No, you don't. You have the fake version of Windows 10 that it knows you're cheating on it with.
What do you mean cheating on it with?
It knows you're dual booting.
This is a legit copy of Windows 10 I actually purchased for the full fucking $140.
Look, everyone knows giving Microsoft money doesn't make it legit. Having it as your only OS on your hard drive is what makes it legit.
That's okay, because I recently stumbled across an article on how to set up Pipewire in Ubuntu and derivatives, so I should be able to get Discord streaming working properly under Linux, and I won't need Windows 10 installed on any drive anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, fuck Windows 10. See, the hierarchy of operating systems goes like this. Windows 7, Linux, Windows XP, Windows 8, DOS, Windows 10.
I'm sorry. I'd have to rank Windows 10 a little higher than DOS.
DOS is more stable.
It might be more stable, but it's less of a fucking pain. Like, it's more of a pain than fucking 10 is.
And I would argue the visual design of DOS is easier on the eyes.
Oh, 10 isn't that bad now.
Damn, I need to make a video of ditching Windows 10 for DOS. 10 things you need to know before you switch.
I mean, I don't know. If anything without a desktop environment, I just can't deal with.
Oh, you can basically run Windows 3.1 using DOS. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The highly vaunted Windows 3.
In fact, the best thing about it, Dros, the best thing, you only need like kilobytes of RAM and can run it off a floppy drive. Just imagine all the performance you're saving for your games.
Holy fuck, man. Man, that just sounds like some love. I hope I don't even have to do that when the world finally collapses from fake money problems.
What, use DOS?
Yeah.
Yeah, you won't need to use DOS. You can use Linux or other stuff.
I don't know, I always have this vision, like they have in the Hollywood movies, where like you're like in a like a sandy wasteland. You come across this one place that somehow, out of all the places in the wasteland, has just not been touched, and has a computer that boots, and it only runs on DOS, and you have to know proper system commands in order to run it. And everyone's like, oh my god, the ancient technology, but it doesn't run unless you know the proper scripts.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
The fact that our nuclear system and stuff is run off like really old, I think almost DOS-based computers. To the point that the reason it can't be hacked is it's not on the internet and most people don't know how the fuck that works anymore.
Hey, look, government incompetence finally did something right. That's all you can say. People say
it's kind of hilarious.
People say the government isn't good at anything. I beg to differ. Good fucking things up, and sometimes that works to its favor.
Look, everyone can fuck up all the time and then somehow fuck something up that turns out to be a good thing to have fucked up.
Yeah, well, the government's special about that, because it can even fuck up something that it turned the leaf over on. Because soon they'll upgrade. Soon someone will go, oh yeah, we should totally upgrade them. But we should upgrade them with like Chinese tech because it's really cheap and available.
Reminds me of the story I was looking at where even though certain Chinese companies and stuff were banned because they're known to spy, some government agencies bought products from them anyway.
Yeah, we
You,
went over
you
that here.
dumb sons of bitches.
Yeah, we were saying the same thing here. Like how it's like, oh man, China's bad. Oh, it's really bad. It'll hack your shit. Major security concerns.
But man, this phone from Huawei is great.
But hey, yeah, they're like having a buy one get one free sale over at the Hack You Always store. Man, these keypads that like are Wi-Fi connected for some reason, so they can launch nukes on a whim. They're such a steal. And like,
yeah, it's almost like there's an ulterior motive to them selling it that cheap.
Yeah, but nothing that's bad for you has ever been cheap for you.
Actually, fun fact, since we're talking about Chinese tech companies, and I don't have a story up for it, but apparently a lot of Chinese chip manufacturers as well as tech companies have been hurting and bleeding money because the US has basically put heavy sanctions on them.
Oh yeah.
And it's also killing a lot of the Chinese spy game. You know, well, not killing it, but hampering its expansion considerably.
Yeah, it's also fucked their chip manufacturing up a lot too.
Well, and most of the stuff they get for manufacturing is stolen tech, so it's basically squashed a lot of the tech they're getting to steal from because businesses are like, well, shit, we can't make our stuff there because of these sanctions, so we have to, you know, contract with someone else, so they're not able to steal the technology too. It's actually really interesting how effective sanctions can be sometimes. So, you want to start our first story?
Oh boy. Let's have to decide what I want to do here. We'll do Twitter first, since that's the less retarded one. Well, debatable.
I was gonna say, you know, Twitter and less retarded in the same sentence doesn't seem to go together.
I know, you would think. Or you'd be like, oh. How can Twitter just get more retarded? And, well, just like any corporation, they're in NFTs now.
Burn it with fire. You know, I'm immediately reminded of the story we did 1 or 2 episodes ago where I'm like, hey, look at this guy who right-clicked all the NFTs. Literally all of them.
And look at the actual art. It is dumb as fuck.
It's kind of shitty. Yeah.
It literally, it's the type of stuff you would expect someone who spends their entire life on Twitter to like, because it's basic bullshit.
Actually, you know, something that I'm really surprised about when it comes to NFTs, we haven't seen Magic the Gathering try to capitalize on it.
Please don't.
Because, like,
stop.
That seems like the logical place for this,
God
right?
Damn it, stop. Hold on.
Have they been doing it and I just don't know about it, or are you just mad I'm giving them ideas?
Hasbro's considering NFTs for Magic the Gathering. There you go, Whiskey. It's already been happening.
Let me put it this way. I'm surprised they weren't the first to try this.
Coming at you from the vaunted source of Polygon to interrupt this entire broadcast. Yeah, there you go. We have our arms around this and see multiple opportunities. Dude, that sounds like someone who's about to rape you.
Much like the card under it looks like someone who's about to rape
Yeah,
you.
it's not wrong either. Yeah, I'm like, hey, but he's gonna rape you with all the colors of diversity. It'll be fine.
That makes it worse. It makes it so much worse.
Like, your holes are gonna be bleeding all the colors of the rainbow after he gets done.
Oh boy, this is getting clipped.
Cause see, he's got red, green, blue. I know enough to know that makes a lot of colors.
I think that's pink, green, and blue, but
Yeah, it's just a lighter shade of red. We know. Okay.
Lightish red. Fucking red versus blue. I see where you're going.
Oh my god. What's even funnier is I can't remember his name, but someone from Rooster Teeth is being sued alongside Rooster Teeth. And there's some rumors that it's sexual related.
To nobody's surprise.
I'm just like, wow, yeah. I mean, I don't like Rooster Teeth, so. But yeah. So on Twitter's NFTs, you basically subscribe to them, and then you can set your profile to be an NFT picture.
Ooh, such in-demandness.
You know what I love about it? Like the NFT is supposed to be. Oh, it's so stupid because it's like. If the NFT is only good on your own network and you can't take it anywhere else, it's not an NFT.
The funny thing is that's partially what NFTs were for, is to be used only within a network.
Within a network, though.
Yeah.
Not a website.
Well,
one specific website.
Yeah. But the thing is, they weren't really designed to be fucking pictures.
Well, I always thought the idea generally of NFT, the ideal was that it's a decentralized receipt, basically, that you can show anywhere that you have not even proof that you own something, it proof that you paid for a thing at one point.
Not really. NFTs are often they can be used kind of like utility tokens, where they serve one specific purpose, a little bit like you could use them how like Red Dead has gold bars. You buy gold bars with money and then spend those.
Yeah, but each gold bar isn't unique.
Correct. The reason you would have them unique is for other purposes.
Well,
but you can have them for one site or one community network, or it's not supposed to be universal, and it's specifically not supposed to be just images like all of these fuckers are doing.
Well,
you know what? If I could make a Twitter account, which I can't because they want too much personal information, I would right-click that shit and put it as my profile so fast, just to piss people off.
I wish I could. Man, maybe I should just open up a fucking NFT thing where that's what I should do. I should just get my bunny girl and just do like pixel art of her and then just sell it as NFT.
There you go.
Call them like bun bits or something like that. And they're like $80,000 in NFT. With varying sales going on like a Steam sale.
Well, no, here's what you do. Okay, so when you do the pixel art, you dress up like in Final Fantasy and do the art of that outfit, and you base it off the cost of that outfit in Final Fantasy. So
Yeah.
if it's a really expensive outfit to put it together, it's a more expensive NFT.
Yeah, like 60,000 gil translates to 60,000. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're dumb as fuck.
Yeah, many things are.
So I'll toss it over to you as soon as I can fucking figure out how to do this. There we go.
All right.
Because that was it for the for Twitter. Because it's not a big thing. But yeah, it's one of those things where you just ask why. Why would you do this? Why are NFTs? Why do I live in this dystopian hellscape where people like want to monetize literally nothing?
Okay. So, I guess I'm going with the fun topic in the room here. There we go.
I'm sorry I'm not fun enough for you, Whiskey.
Well, look. NFTs on Twitter are all nice and good and all.
I wish
But,
I wish I could be like that whore Tifa, you know, and be fun like her.
So, Final Fantasy VII porn interrupts government meeting. The Italian Senate Zoom call saw a very not safe for work hentai clip of Final Fantasy VII's Tifa. Lawmakers who gathered yesterday for discussion of data transparency in political discussion making got more than they bargained for when someone started playing a CGI video of Final Fantasy VII's Tifa having sex in the middle of the digital proceedings. The hentai went live just as the Zoom call was introducing Giorgio Parisi, one of last year's Nobel Prize winners in physics. What ensued was the longest 30 seconds anyone present had ever experienced. The meeting, hosted by Five Star Movement Senator Maria Laura Montavani, appeared to be running smoothly for the first half hour. Italian wire services reported, but when it came time to introduce Parisi, the call, which included both live and remote participants, was hijacked by someone sharing their screen while playing the unofficial Final Fantasy VII porn. And so while the video of the event was edited, a clip of the harrowing Zoom fail remains circulating around the internet. So yeah, basically someone just photobombed their whole meeting with porn. And it was broadcast on their basically their version of C-SPAN. So it was broadcast live throughout the country. And although they're blaming hackers, no one really knows for sure who did it.
Reminds me of this video I saw where this woman is at like an Olympics event or something like that for Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan or something like that, and they play the Borat joke theme he made. Oh my god. It was ridiculous. And she stood there. And she stood there and took it. And it was amazing.
I think we should do that now. So, like, whenever you go to a country that, for instance, had like a Street Fighter character, you just play their theme.
Oh, but
you pretend it's that country's national anthem.
Oh no, but it was bad. It was like our women are great whores, and It was pretty graphic. It was
Yeah,
not.
I've not seen Borat, but I know it's a shock humor movie.
Yeah. We can't listen to it here because the video they have is by CNN and they will fucking strike us.
hey,
Cause
hey, it's for news and reporting. Fight that shit.
look, I'm not gonna fight CNN in court. They're just gonna dox me.
Yeah, fine, I'll fight them. I'll I'll show up to court with no shirt and boxing gloves on.
They'll just heart attack on you.
So moving on from one kind of degeneracy into another.
Look, there's nothing degenerate about Tifa, okay?
So have you had any late packages recently?
Actually, yeah, some medicine, yeah.
Well, apparently thieves in Los Angeles are looting freight trains filled with packages from UPS, FedEx, and Amazon.
Are those the train tracks?
Yes, from all the boxes they've looted from trains. Yeah.
Fuck.
And the funny thing is, I know exactly where that place is because I lived in LA. That's very near Union Station. If it's where I'm thinking it is.
What the fuck?
So yeah, and the trains have to actually go very slow through there because of the signaling and stuff. So you can just jump on the train, and they've been jumping on it using bolt cutters to open containers and stealing TVs and whatever else they can. Yeah. So not only does your shit sit off the coast of Los Angeles, in fact, you might not have heard, but they've actually asked ships to park past the horizon so that the news stops reporting on it. Not only does your shit get held up there, but when it gets on a train, it might get stolen. So yeah, photos and videos showing piles of empty boxes littered alongside rail tracks in Los Angeles County, California, have gone viral as shipping companies say they've seen a dramatic spike in railroad theft. Some of the boxes are packages from companies like UPS, Amazon, and FedEx. Union Pacific, one of the country's largest railroad companies, said it may avoid operating in Los Angeles County following the spike in thefts, which it blames on lax prosecution of crimes.
I wonder what the just as a footnote, I wonder if the people that are stealing from the trains all share a certain characteristic.
Well, I know what you're getting at, and I won't comment on that specifically. But what I find interesting is where they just say it may avoid operating in Los Angeles County. What that will mean, because the ports in LA County supply like half the country, it just doesn't get on trains. And they're not allowing trucks in that are too old, so it may just screw over everyone with the logistics crisis we're going through. Because some assholes wanted a new TV.
I mean,
for free.
Well, to be fair, you can't blame them when the state incentivizes you to steal anything that's less than $1,000. Like, no offense, if I could take a quick vacation to California right now, I'd go on a shopping spree too. Because what I love is like whenever they were trying to say it's a problem and they're like, we have some malicious actors that are coming in from out of the state and taking advantage of the political climate. It's like, first of all, I don't think the people that are stealing like malt liquor out of your convenience stores right now are exactly coming from out of town to do so.
Yeah.
Second of all, you shouldn't have the problem. You made this problem. Just
Yeah, and basically Union Pacific goes on to say later down that, yeah, it's because of the new bullshit laws where they're not prosecuting people or punishing them, and they've seen 160% rise in crime and theft.
wow. I would have never guessed that if you decriminalize theft, that the amount of theft goes up.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it?
I love how the government can stand out of the way of hardworking citizens and allow once black market industry to finally flourish in the open sun.
Yeah, it's just this is how far we're falling, Dros. We have porn in political meetings and train theft. You know, back in the day, they used to have like Wells Fargo would actually have someone literally riding shotgun with a shotgun to shoot people who tried to loot. We might have to go back to that.
I could imagine. They weren't yeah.
Hey, bean bags, even if they hit you in the head and kill you, don't have ballistics.
Yeah, I didn't see that going great. The first banking fucking freelance agent that shoots a black person on trial for Black Lives Matter fucking hate crimes while the jury's stacked full of single black mothers with all I hate this motherfucker on shirts on.
I mean, they'll hate the guy that got shot when the trains and ships stopped going through California, and they literally have nothing.
No, they're just gonna blame white people like they're doing now with like you got a bunch of stores pulling out and they're like, see, this is the problem. White people don't like support black communities when they're
they
in
don't
need.
let us steal from them. This
Yeah.
is the problem.
I ain't the one stealing. Why you leaving?
Because your boyfriend Tyrone over there is the one stealing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look.
So now Tyrone gets to open up a store and we're leaving.
Yeah, the only store Tyrone's gonna be opening up is a pawn shop. Or a liquor store.
And by opening up, you mean in the middle of the night while everyone's gone.
Oh man, you know what I love about like an NFT and shit? Is that you can technically like make an NFT off of someone's likeness and it's hard for them to actually get anything off of you probably.
That would be funny.
Yeah, I just see a lot of it popping up where people like they like make NFTs of popular people and there's nothing they can really do about it because it's such a gray area right now.
I mean, you probably could do something about it because the image itself that the NFT is tied to would be their likeness, so they probably could sue you for it. Because you made something in their likeness, regardless of the NFT part.
I want to see that in court where someone has to argue over fucking NFTs. It'd be great.
Political and TV figures are not covered by that.
Yeah.
Like if there's someone in the news. So you could like make NFT like shitty people trading cards with like all the dictators and stuff.
That's what I should do. I should just make like, political leader NFTs. I mean, you can I'll popularize it so far that like your entire like polls will become a thing of the past. Your NFT worth is what really judges like your voter engagement. And then as soon as the company gets too big, I'll sell it off to someone of God's chosen tribe that'll just like go ahead and like properly monetize it while I check out.
Yeah, fuck NFTs. They're such bullshit right now because they're not being used how they're fucking designed.
I can imagine.
Dumbasses pay for it.
I can imagine it's like, oh, you're selling like an NFT company to somebody, and they're like, all right, so how does this all work and stuff? And you're like, I don't know.
That's the magic. It doesn't.
Yeah, that's the magic. I don't fucking know. You buy these like token things, and people pay money for them, and you give them like a printout receipt, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to make a tech company and get a bunch of investment, do stupid shit to initially make money and then cash out. That's what you do right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's forever been the thing, right? Is like, if you really want to make money, you don't go and make a company or make your own idea. You go and you sell someone the allure of a good idea. And then you're like, oh, well, like this idea, like Twitter's a good example, right? Before Twitter got famous, you could have done it. Like, well, this is going to be a platform that's going to be literally going to be looked at as the public square, right? It will be a place where not only normal everyday individuals come and talk shop, but like products can come in and act like they're people and literally have free marketing from people who are like, oh my god, I just used this vinegar enema, and it's left me feeling never better. And now you've got free advertising.
Gross. The correct name is Venema.
Venema, yeah. Sorry, I'm out of touch with the marketing. Sorry.
You know what? I want on Twitter the hashtag. This is the hashtag I want to trend. Products are not people.
They've done that.
And anytime there's an advertisement, you just hashtag that on it.
They already have that. It's called Silence Brand.
Not good enough.
Well, it's usually of a
for instance, on the Wendy's thing where they post, you use that hashtag. You just use it everywhere. You know, brands are not people, products are not people, you know, leftists are not people. Well, all the basics.
But yeah, it's just you give someone the idea that what you have is actually really fucking valuable, kind of like someone would do with Activision, and then you cash out and then you walk away.
Oh, Activision. So, I guess, since it's being brought up, before we switch over to your news, speaking of Blizzard and Activision, Blizzard boss details what the studio is doing to rebuild your trust. So, Blizzard Entertainment, the developer of huge franchises like Diablo and Overwatch, has been under intense scrutiny since the California lawsuit. In an attempt to assure employees and fans that the company is making positive changes, Blizzard boss Mike, I'm just going to call him Mike Y, published a blog post detailing what it is doing to rebuild your trust.
Ibarra, I think, is.
So here's what he outlines that they're doing. They're, creating becoming a culture leader who will help us maintain the best aspects of what we have today and change and evolve where needed to ensure everyone brings their best to Blizzard. A new organizational leader for human resources who will build trust, empower our teams, and help foster a safe, positive work environment for everyone. And the last and probably most important, a diversity, equity, and inclusion leader solely focused on our progress across multiple efforts in this area. Which, the funny thing is, it's this kind of person that's caused all of their problems to begin with. And now they're just hiring one officially. And apparently they've tripled the size of their compliance and investigation teams. So yeah, just a little bit more of the fire that's burning down Blizzard right now. I'm surprised Microsoft had to pay as much as they did for them. That's all I got.
Damn it, Whiskey. Spoilers.
Dros, it's not a spoiler, it's called a segue.
Okay.
Supposed to get on that shit and write it, not like jump on it and fall off on your face.
Oh, you know, I'm not a woman, so I'm not good at writing things.
Could have fooled me. You're awful good at laying on your back.
You have to be a woman to do that. Okay. So Microsoft to buy Activision at $68.7 billion all cash deal. So this will be a couple of them. As in like two, because I'm lazy. But yeah, they announced, what was it, Tuesday? I believe it was Tuesday, that they were going to buy Activision for a fuck ton of money. Bobby,
I don't think they're worth that much, to be honest.
They basically made a statement. Phil Spencer made a statement so much to say that, like, they're gonna treat all the employees like Microsoft employees. He made kind of like a sideward comment, you could construe it at least, to Bobby, saying like, you know, I'm gonna treat people better than Bobby did. There's rumors floating around that Bobby will be leaving as soon as Microsoft takes over fully, which isn't going to be immediately. I believe it's not going to be till their next fiscal quarter. Could be wrong about that. But
as a quick side note about the headline of this, it says all cash deal. I'm just imagining Microsoft show up with like wheelbarrows full of money.
Yeah, because it's all
like
cash.
Actual cash.
Yeah, it's like how you can't even carry.
It's like, bring the fucking dump truck, boys.
And yeah, and Bobby Kotick himself is gonna walk away with at least like 800 million.
I would love to be in a position where I had that many millions of, billions of dollars and walk into a bank and say, yes, I would like to withdraw all of it in cash. And just single-handedly basically kill the bank of all of its cash.
It'll be great when they when Activision becomes like the breadline dealer, or Microsoft becomes a breadline dealer, because they'll be the only corporation in America rich enough to actually, afford food.
I mean, for now, what happens when people stop buying their stuff?
They'll be selling the bread. You kind of have to.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
And it'll have the Windows logo on it.
People are not going to buy your bread when they go to make a sandwich with it, and just all of a sudden it bursts into flames and says, no, you need to update to the Toast DLC right now.
Oh, no. Oh, man, it'll have the Windows logo on it. I can see it now. It'd be the Windows logo. It's guys, it's Bread 12. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's much better than Bread 11. Even though we told you Bread 11 was going to be the last formula of bread we were going to make.
Why doesn't this bread have any yeast in it? And why is it green?
Well, see, it'd be blue because they're going to dye the mold.
Yeah, but if you've ever made cookies and used blue dye, unless you do it right, it comes out green.
Well, it'll still be considered the blue mold of death.
I'm imagining, because Microsoft screws things up so readily, that it's just going to end up being green.
Oh, I got my bread's errored out, but I can't find the code. God, this tech support's so fucking horrible.
Why does my sandwich have a blue screen of death? What will happen if I eat it?
I cut myself on the sharp edges. Couldn't you give me the bread with the rounded corners?
Son of a bitch. Oh, that was good.
Oh, damn it. It's just, it fits too many scenarios to see Microsoft giving out bread.
What? Why does my bread come with Internet Explorer?
Yeah. Oh my god, it's got bloatware on it. I don't want TikTok on my bread. I have to pay for solitaire with my bread now? Yeah, just... And the only spider solitaire you'll be playing is with actual spiders.
Why is it that every time I go to take a bite of my bread, I have to accept the UAC prompt?
Yeah. And it's just like a whole bunch of like medical bullshit that you like, if you die, you're not gonna sue.
Yeah, if you choke on this bread, you're not gonna sue. This bread is only designed to ingest through the mouth.
Yeah, it's only designed to be ingested with Microsoft patented water too.
Son of a bitch.
If you die while ingesting other brand products, Microsoft cannot and will not be held liable.
In the terms, of course, says you can't take them to court. You have to take them to arbitration, and they get to choose who the arbitrates.
Or by eating the bread, you give up your right for arbitration.
So, you're not purchasing this bread. This bread is merely being licensed to you.
I mean, I guess they're right in a way.
The warranty on this bread is void if the packaging is opened by a non-certified technician.
Have you removed this sticker before a certain date? It's fucking void.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
See, no one would put up with this shit if Microsoft was a bread company, but no.
I mean, you will when they're the only ones who can afford to be the bread company, yes.
Oh, I will make my own fucking bread, thank you very much.
But they'll be the ones who own all the ingredients, because Bill Gates...
I'll name it Freedom Bread.
See, what's going to happen is, right, the economic system is going to collapse. Then Bill Gates is going to ride in on a shining white horse, because he owns a lot of the fucking farmland anyways, so he has horses. And he's going to be like, he's going to take the hold of Microsoft. He's like, guys, we're going to make a bread company. I've gained immortality because I've injected so many COVID-19 vaccines that not even God and his grand designs can end my body.
I just imagine as he's giving this speech, someone just shoots him and runs up and takes a loaf of bread.
Well, no, you'd shoot him, and before the bullet even got to him, it would just die of like COVID.
No.
Because he's transcended, life itself. Because he's injected so many aborted fetus cells that like if you even if the bullet hit him, it would just like it would take like one of the unborn lives off his counter instead of actually killing him. It would be like Vamp from Metal Gear Solid. Like you shoot him in the head and he'd be like, I'm gonna take a nap now. Like he'd finish his phone call and then take a nap, and then you see him in a day or two and he'd be like walking around fine.
There was a One Piece villain with the ability to effectively offload damage onto other people. And so if you dealt a fatal blow to him, it would just randomly kill one of the people that he's used his power on. And that's one of the plot points, is he uses that ability on the crew and friends of one of the good guys. So it's like, yeah, if you do enough damage to beat the hell out of me or kill me, it just gets transferred to your friends. Was a interesting gimmick. So you said you had 2 Blizzard articles, and we've gone off down a Microsoft hole, a micro hole, if you will.
Let's see. Hold on, I got a thing. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I can feel the copyrights incoming.
Oh, no, it's Metal Gear Solid. It's fine. Metal Gear Solid. They won't copyright this. Okay. This is Bill Gates after the COVID shots.
We've got the go-ahead. Begin. We'll use his blood.
I like to imagine the real filming of this would also be at 15 frames a second.
I'll be taking in.
Also, I can't hear any of it.
Oh, okay. Well, he's just like, I'll be taking a nap. And he's just like,
Okay.
he finishes his phone call, and then he just goes like, I'm just gonna take a nap, guys, after I've been shot in the head. And he does, and he gets back up later. Yeah. It's pretty great because it's Vamp, you know, and that's Bill Gates' grand master plan. Is to just, you know, become one with COVID-19. He's wanting to let it mutate in the general populace as much as he can, so it gets to the final strain, right, where it's infected all living things on the planet, and then he can draw it back into himself. Like a fucking, like Genova or some shit in Final Fantasy VII, and then he'll truly transcend beyond the human limits.
So what I'm hearing is we just have to stop him the way they do Dio, which is put him in a box at the fucking bottom of the ocean.
Good luck. Fucking, he'll just create a window, Whiskey. Maybe too.
So he gets to watch the ocean from the bottom of it.
Yeah, he has enough money where he can't be crushed by something as simple as the amount of water that's currently above him.
Well, no, wait for the inflation, then his money will be worth.
Well, no, because he owns like every money ever, so he's always perpetual. He can't even go underwater because he's has so much money. He will always be above water. So,
except that the money isn't physical.
It's inside him. This is a multi-part process, Look, Whiskey.
Fuck you and your Microsoft "we was kings" theory.
It wasn't. He's not. We was a king. He is the king and still is the king. Like biologically, he will eventually surpass us all, right? And he has all the farmland, so he's fucking gonna own all of America eventually, anyways. So we'll all be fucking eating those shitty Beyond chicken nuggets from fucking KFC as they give them out to us like fucking bread and communist bread lines. because
Didn't we see a video or article not long ago where someone like died or something because of one of those Beyond Meat things?
I don't know, but they should. And like they'll be giving those out because they can grow them from the bodies of like dissidents and shit.
Soylent Green, my friend.
Oh.
Soylent Green.
Oh no, Soylent Green would be merciful. What they're gonna do, again, because I only believe in the worst timelines, they're going to find a way to like put dissidents in like a COVID lab or some shit, right? And just like surgically attach you to some machine that keeps you alive while they like peel your fucking skin off and turn that into nuggets.
So we're literally just gonna be China then. Okay.
Probably, yeah. Like, you know, because you honestly, Soylent Green, when you think about it, it's actually not it's not a efficient way to do it. What you would do is you would find dissidents in the society, and then you would, like I said, you would strap them up into like a meat farm, and you would use them as an endless source of meat, keeping them alive, but only taking enough. Like
that reminds me of the anime Overlord, when they think they're raiding a dungeon and it's just Nazarick, and the couple of guys get teleported in with the guardian who's a cockroach, and he's just like, yes, my children will feast upon your internals and nest in you, and then I'll resurrect you and do it again.
Yeah.
Just for eternity, being eaten alive and used as a breeding farm, and then resurrected after you die from it to do it all over again.
They're like, you're into some DeviantArt shit, aren't you?
Like that's the kind of torture you're describing.
Yeah, well, that's because I only imagine the freshest of hells, right? Like, I look at like Dante's Inferno, and you go down to like the 11th layer of hell, where like you get to the point where there's two guys, one's like a king and the other guy is like the king fucked over in life, and the guy that got fucked over is eating the king's skull, and it's like basically forever like him eating him. And it's like, yeah, I imagine everything, that's like my starting point. Everything is down from there.
Well, if you don't have another article, would you like to know what else is down?
Well, I do.
Okay.
Sorry. I just wanted to go on a tangent about Greek tragedies.
There goes my segue. I hope you're happy.
Yeah. Well,
someone stole it. Probably the same people who were stealing shit from trains.
I just want to get a video of someone on a Segway that just bails on their fucking face now and be like, yes, there. Because that's all I think about when I hear the word Segway. I don't think of like, oh, this is a good way to like get from one point to another. I imagine that shitty little dumb fucking scooter thing that they had.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I wish they never named it that.
Yeah, it's a good Segway. No, Segways are never good.
Every time I think of an actual Segway too, I think of the one episode of it was one of those repossession shows where they try and repossess a Segway and they can't ride the damn thing. Like he jumps on it to try and ride it away to repossess it, just falls on his face.
Wow, man. I remember I used to watch a show like that where it's like a repossessing thing. I remember a guy who had to sneak on to a fucking airport. He had to like, there was this guy that had an airport on a fucking plateau. And the guy had to literally pretend to be like his security to get inside, like James Bond, and steal the fucking thing. Because it was like a jet or something. And I'm like, are you fucking insane?
I mean, at that point, the problem is if you're found out, you're just never going to be seen again.
Yeah, that's basically what he said. He's like, yeah, the main thing is if I'm ever caught here, I'm probably just gonna die. It's like, well, yeah. Because, I mean, it's like invading Tim Pool's dumb fucking compound, right? Like, even someone with like a semi-competent team could probably just catch you and just, there's no questions anymore.
Yeah. It's like, what repo guy?
Yeah, and I mean, you're not like you're gonna be looking out for a repo guy. Like, wait, you send a repo guy here? What shit is this? But yeah. Segwaying
Speaking of things that have been repossessed.
to this topic that we were supposed to be talking about. Phil Spencer wants to bring back the Activision Blizzard games he loved as a kid. Which they did mention StarCraft in there when they were buying them.
That could either be good or really bad. It would be kind of hilarious if the purchase had nothing to do with whether it was good for Microsoft, but Phil Spencer literally wanting a better sequel.
Yeah, I would laugh. It would be like, yeah,
that would be hilarious.
Oh, let's see. I was looking at the IP list. I mean, let's go, Spencer said. King's Quest, Guitar Hero. I should know this, but I think they got Hexen. Do they have Hexen?
No, Hexen, I'm pretty sure was id Software, and that's owned by Bethesda.
Do. It does indeed have Hexen, which was developed by Raven Software back in the early 90s. Activision acquired Raven in 97.
Oh, I'm thinking of Commander Keen, I think.
There's a lot more than just that. Activision also holds the Sierra brand. Here's everything from King's Quest to SWAT.
And Sierra also published the first Half-Life.
Yeah, they own Star Control, Crash Bandicoot, Prototype.
Yeah, they got a lot of good IPs. That's probably what the entire price was based off of, is just the IPs themselves.
It's not a complete pipe dream. Spencer told the Wall Street Journal that Microsoft tends to talk to its new studios about working on games that have been languishing in Activision Blizzard's archives, including those like Toys for Bob and hopefully I Would Love Another Singularity. Raven, that have been regulated to Call of Duty support studios.
I kind of like this...
Sorry.
Let's see, where was it?
That's where I'm at right now.
Here we go. Blizzard has a formidable back catalog on its own. Microsoft brought back Age of Empires, so maybe they'll do the same for StarCraft. Maybe we'll even get StarCraft Ghost someday, but probably not. I always thought that would be a cool concept. I don't know if you ever saw it.
Yeah. Wait, yeah, we're talking about the first person thing where they were going to do like Kerrigan, right?
First or third person, and no, you played as one of the ghosts.
Oh,
like the unit as a spy doing shit in the StarCraft universe. Yeah,
like originally I thought they were going to do where you did like the Ghost Squad where Kerrigan was actually head of it right before she fell before the
They didn't give that many details as far as I'm aware.
I just remember the rumor being around that Kerrigan was going to be the squad leader and that it was going to lead up to her fall and as the Zerg Queen. Which would have been interesting. Well, I mean, I was never a StarCraft fan aside from the Zergs. That's me. Because, fucking 40K. Honestly, if they should have bought anybody, it should have been fucking Games Workshop. And they kicked all the fucking idiots out of the goddamn company. And then Microsoft would have the toy company and video game properties forever. But, I mean, I'm also incredibly biased and make bad business decisions, so...
Okay, I found the 1.5-minute trailer I was thinking about. I will send it to you. You can decide whether you want to play it or not.
Fuck it, we're not monetized.
There, I just threw it into Discord.
I like how it's showing her ass too. It's great.
Oh yeah, there's some pretty good shots there.
Man, back when video games used to be good.
The way of the warrior is the path of shadow. The gift of the warrior is to perceive that which cannot be seen.
Fucking Eldar. Yeah, she has red hair.
Yeah.
The spirit of the warrior is to strike.
Yeah, this actually isn't the trailer I was thinking of, but yes, this is the same thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Kerrigan.
I only ever saw the teaser that came in the game.
When balance is lost,
Oh my god, I can't wait for this game.
left is the reckoning.
Yeah, it's basically just a third-person stealth shooter. But the way it was presented in the trailer, and it might have actually been on my Warcraft 3 disc.
Fuck, why can't Warhammer do this?
But yeah, it looked really interesting the way it was presented in their
Coming 2000
other trailer that
from
I had.
Blizzard Entertainment.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to find that one because I don't actually see the one I remember on YouTube at all.
Narrated by Optimus Prime. Yeah. Yeah, you know. They could have done that. But they're never going to do that.
I don't know. I just think the idea of being a spy / ghost operative in StarCraft would be pretty cool.
Oh, it would.
If done right.
Oh, it definitely would be. I mean, they kind of have to just use Overwatch's engine, I guess, or something. Like, just, it wouldn't be too bad.
Like, I could imagine going on missions and you have horror sections that are just the Zerg infested areas. Because the Zerg basically are like horror movie fodder.
But yeah, Phil Spencer is a pretty okay chap in the sense that he will seemingly invest in a lot of the games that were good, and not just because they're gonna make money, because they're legitimately, you know, things people want. It's not like he's like, oh, let's revive, I don't know, Guitar Hero, and then make it like Black History Month edition. Because I want being
because as it turns out, if you make what people want, they'll pay you for it.
Nah. I'm pretty sure the game industry is counterintuitive to that entire decision.
You know, as an example, they released Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, and they keep putting out like more updates to it and more civilizations and stuff. And it's actually on the competitive scene that still exists for it has basically become the standard now because they did a good job with it. So, and they've made a bunch of money reselling effectively an old game, but with a facelift.
See. I won't go through this one because this one was just like someone basically crying that like the Microsoft purchase of Activision is like encapsulates the game industry. But he's basically like, oh my god, it's like the entire industry going towards like streaming and monopolization, which is true to a degree, but like I was reading a forum not too long ago and someone's like, just create your own fucking video games.
Pretty much.
Like we're not at the point now where the platforms are locked down, so you're good. Like Steam isn't locking people down based on ideology. Epic will take you if you did hit that road, right?
Well, and Steam actually looks like it probably wouldn't go that route just because of their company structure.
And even then, you still have good old games. You can sell your own product from your own website.
You know, we might not have good old games for all that much longer. Looking at their financials, they've been losing money for a while.
Well, they should stay around because it makes getting games completely legally really easy.
I actually do buy a lot of stuff from them, though. I think my library right now is like 360 games I've purchased from
I
them.
too buy a lot from good old games.
Damn it, Dros, I'm not being sarcastic.
I'm not too. I'm being 100%
And you make it sound like I am.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bastard. The other thing I like is I'm able to back up everything I purchase on my file server. So, you know, if their service ever does go down, I have it permanently.
And if the service goes down, the internet's pretty much archived every single good old games download that's ever existed, so.
So, I have a story.
Hey.
And I'm streaming it.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Oh, okay. So Netflix stock plunges as company misses growth forecast. So it predicted it was going to have 222.06 million paid subscriptions by the end of last year. Instead, it only ended up with 221.84 million paid subscriptions.
Yeah.
And so the investors are worried and started pulling out money and reducing the value of their stock.
Yeah, because, I mean, Netflix is becoming less and less a great thing. I mean, more and more companies are cutting up their own content in their own little fucking a la carte system.
Well, and realistically at this point, who do they have to market to that they can get to come to their service who isn't already on their service? Like, this is why they're raising rates again, is they can't find enough people to bring in as new customers. They just don't exist.
You know what's fun about corporations that have basically gone through, like, the golden era? They assume that the golden era will literally never end.
Yeah, they assume they can literally do the infinite growth thing. And that you can't. There is actually a limit. And once you hit it, that's it. And unfortunately, they're not willing to be honest with investors and say, okay, ride's over. Instead of being like exponential growth, we're just going to be dividends now. Because, oh, well, then our stock price will go down. Well, what's it fucking matter if you can't make more money anyway?
Well, it's weird, too. It's kind of like, in a way, ultimately, the capitalist incentive kind of breaks down here. In a way. Because, like, if you make... Because the incentive is to make as much money as you can, right? But if you do that as a corporation, you eventually hit your peak really, really quickly, and then you start trending downhill really, really quickly. So ideally, slow, steady growth is better because you'll make more money over time, rather than getting a flash in the pan.
Well, I mean, or just recognize when you're at the peak and just be like, okay, we're cool with just sitting here for a really long time.
Well, obviously...
Right? Like, you don't need to keep, once you're on top of Mount Everest, you don't need to keep trying to climb higher. You're just going to fall off the damn mountain at that point.
Maybe if we tap into China, though.
Again, you have to go down in order to start digging the hole there.
So you're saying,
So
so you're saying if I start digging a hole now, I can get to China on the other side by going through the Earth. Gotcha.
yes, but ultimately you'll die first.
You know what? I'll take that risk.
So yeah, that's my complaint about companies in general, is once they hit the point where they realistically can't grow and can't have exponential growth, they're not willing to tell their investors, hey, it's over. If you want exponential, invest somewhere else.
To be fair, that's kind of the problem, is you can't really tell investors in a tech company that, because they don't and won't believe it. Like, the expectations, like you were saying earlier, on tech companies are so high that no one can ever think that tech can't not grow.
Well, see, as a tech company, if you did that, you just point over and go, hey, remember the dot-com boom? You don't want to lose all your money like people did then, do you?
And most investors are going to be like, I can't even remember what the fucking dot-com boom was about.
Yeah, because it was more than 10 years ago, so no one fucking remembers.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. You can't tell an investor who has this idea that because tech is the hottest thing, that tech is like oil. It's one of those solid investments that will always return more return on investment than you ever invested, and it'll continuously grow because it's something that's constantly needed, instead of something that actually does have a limited growth period and then kind of fizzles out if you don't have a grand plan to monetize people once you got them there.
Well, you know, the best example that I think can be used is you look at your investors and go, okay, imagine where a company that sells toasters, and those toasters never break, ever. They'll be good for 1,000 years before they ever break. Eventually, once we sell about 4.5 billion toasters, and everyone has at least one toaster, we're not ever going to be able to sell another toaster. No one will want one, and there won't be enough people for the business to survive. Now, the difference is we get to charge you, instead of, $20 for you to buy the toaster, we're charging you $5 a month to rent the toaster. Yeah, or whatever they're charging per month now.
Yeah.
Right? So once every single person who is interested in buying a toaster, your hypothetical toaster has one, you literally cannot grow other than raising rates. But if you raise rates to a certain point, you start losing customers. I mean, if they would just sit down, their investors, and literally explain it kind of like that, they could do it. The problem is, then you'd have everyone going, oh, well, our stock price will go down.
Well, yeah, because people are going to pull out immediately.
Well, not just that, but what it means is your stock price will no longer be overvalued. It will reflect the literal value, because you're saying you can't become more valuable.
Yeah, but that's the problem with tech, is that everything...
It's all overvalued.
Yeah. And what's even bad is you got places like BuzzFeed that are only worth like $4 in an overvalued market.
Yeah.
Imagine being worth $4 and someone being like, and that's with me being generous.
Well,
I wonder if I should buy BuzzFeed.
Oh, wait. Wrong article. Damn it. Wait. No, this was the right one. Okay. So, speaking of the tech bubble and everything else, so the everything bubble is bursting, and the Fed has barely even begun its war on inflation. Many top stocks are already in their own bear markets. Nvidia, way off its game, has lost 25% of its value from its last high score. 25% is a ridiculous number for a company like Nvidia, especially when they're making record profits right now. And like Tesla has plunged down by 28%. Facebook / Meta is down 17%. Amazon is down 16%. Like everything is starting to rectify to what its actual value is, as opposed to what people want it to be worth. So, the laws of economics are immutable. They will eventually come around. And yeah, more than 50 of NASDAQ stocks are in bear, or 50% are in bear markets. The average stock is down by 38%, and it's really just the really expensive ones, usually tech, that's holding everything up. Like, because Microsoft hasn't sunk as much.
Say again? Sorry.
Oh, a lot of the regular stocks are down by a huge amount, 38% here. But you have a lot of the big stocks like Amazon, Microsoft, stuff like that aren't falling as much. And so it's actually holding some of these stock markets up just on the large companies. But other than that, everything is starting to rectify to what it's actually worth.
Time for the Fed to start pumping some money in.
In fact, if you remember that video we watched earlier about we should have expected another 38%,
This is
and
it.
that was done like a few months ago. That's a interesting number to note here that I didn't even think about until just now. I knew I liked that guy's theory. But yeah, now that Netflix is going down and some of the tech companies are starting to take hits, we'll probably see a true crash coming soon. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, because, I mean, you can't lie to multi-billion-dollar corporations when they start, like, hemorrhaging large sums of money, like 25 to 30%.
And to make matters even better, the IRS will soon use facial recognition for you to access your taxes online.
I'm sure it won't use anything, it won't sell that data at all.
Well, according to the company named ID Me, their policy says they can't sell it or profit from it, etc., etc. I think I'm just going to, use mail and a check because by law they have to accept it. Screw you and your facial recognition. I don't want to empower you to be like China and track every tiny thing.
I mean, they will eventually anyway.
No, it could collapse first.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it collapses first.
Yeah, you and me both, but I don't think... I'm not counting my chips on that one.
And I like how it says, ID Me is a trusted technology provider. I don't trust them. It shouldn't count.
Like, part of me feels like the system cannot collapse simply because the system we live in right now is bullshit and made up and completely fabricated. There's nothing saying that it cannot just fabricate a cure to its already fabricated disease.
I would say what says it can't is simply people's confidence in the system. Once it's shaken by enough bullshit reasons for change, regardless of whether that change is positive or negative, the whole thing collapses. Because the second people stop believing in it, it stops having power.
I just feel like that's never gonna happen. Like, most of the people keep going and keep believing in it. Like, there are people that are worried about it, but ultimately at the end of the day, they just shut up and keep going. Like,
That's just because they're too comfortable. Things have to get really bad before people will accept it.
I mean,
just like it had to in Soviet Russia
yeah, but to
or
be fair,
Cuba
it was always bad in Soviet Russia.
or Venezuela. Like, people literally have to be on the brink of starvation before they will do anything.
Even then, it takes a while.
It does.
You can't fight a revolution when you're starving.
So it is not looking good. And North Korea slams US and hints at resuming nuclear ICBM tests.
Gee, that took all of like one presidential term.
Well, I mean, once someone who's weak is in there, it's time to go back to doing what you were doing, right?
To be fair, he was probably just lying to Trump anyway, so.
So, in Seoul, South Korea, accusing the United States of hostility and threats, North Korea on Thursday said it will consider restarting all temporarily suspended activities it had paused during its diplomacy with the Trump administration, in an apparent threat to resume testing of nuclear explosives and long-range missiles. It's almost like when people know the U.S. ain't gonna do shit, they'll start doing the things that we don't like again, as opposed to having someone like Trump in office who will insult you and then say, we will burn your country in hellfire if you do that.
Your shithole country.
Yeah, it's like what you were talking about how you want a president that really will just go up there and on the world stage and say, no, fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, man, you need a president with a short president with small dick energy. He needs to be like 4 foot and have the smallest, like a micro penis.
And basically act like a pro wrestler when talking to other world leaders.
Just be like, I will fucking snap your neck here. You won't have enough Secret Service guards to prevent me from getting you.
So yeah, it really is just they see an opportunity where America is weak and not doing anything, so they're going to ignore any agreements they made. And that concludes the articles I've got.
I'm actually spent for the most part too.
So yeah, stuff isn't getting better. That's my point.
The collapse, it's coming.
And it's likely a worldwide collapse too, not just a singular country.
That's why
so,
I feel,
more fun for everyone.
Honestly, it's one of those things I can't even really imagine what the collapse is going to be like, and a part of me feels like it's just going to be bullshitted out of it anyways. At the last moment, someone's going to come up with some bullshit, like, nope, no, the system gets to continue indefinitely. It's like, okay, whatever. It's all a bunch of fucking magic and smoke and mirrors made up by people who basically went to a school that lets them tell other people that their magic made up math is somehow more valid than actual reality.
Yeah, I don't think they'll pull off what you're worried they'll pull off. Just because history has proven that it never works that way.
Yeah, but at the same time in history, we never had Facebook and Twitter. Like, that's kind of the thing. It's like the technology scale we have now. I feel like people just are brainwashed beyond any reasonable hope. And that, like, the drug is too strong, and that people will actively fight for a world that will ultimately, like, drown them in like all this bullshit we're currently experiencing.
Well, to quote damn it, what's his name? Guy who fights Thor in the Avengers.
Loki?
Yes, to quote Loki. Some people are meant to be ruled. And it really is true. There are a lot of people that will offload their thinking onto the collective.
I had the words for what I wanted to say about it, but I lost them.
Well, you lost those words much like we lost the attention of our viewers.
Yeah. I need to work on my showmanship. I should be wearing a clown outfit.
Or at least a top hat. Maybe both.
I would, but, you know, as a bunny girl, I can't wear hats.
I think as a bunny girl, you should come out of a hat.
I mean, it would be amazing, but no hats.
Yeah, you like jump out of the hat, and then you take the hat and put it on your head.
And it
Brilliant.
would, and it would disappear because my head just makes all hats disappear.
Damn Final Fantasy logic.
It would be a good trick. I mean, you never, hey, everyone's seen a bunny come out of a hat, but you've never seen a bunny make a hat disappear.
Speaking of bunnies, have you yet watched Bunny Girl Senpai?
No, I need to obtain that entirely legally. I need to obtain that entirely legally through Funimation or Crunchyroll.
Shit. She screwed the pooch on that one.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was just gonna say, you know, peruse some of the anime sites that I frequent.
Sure. This stream neither supports nor endorses Drose's bad decisions.
Did you know piracy in all forms is legal in Israel?
What?
Yeah.
So if I claimed to be a land pirate and was robbing people,
I mean, like of IP.
Okay.
Yeah, Israel basically has no anti-piracy laws.
I mean, neither does China.
Yeah, but I mean, China isn't exactly like people who play by the like. See, I can't make that argument because it's not like Israel does either.
Yeah, it's kind of bad when you don't have an argument for anything, huh?
Yeah, well, you're just lucky that both the Chinese and Jews get special treatment in the world stage. You know, I guess that could be said. That could be the thing you could say to why we probably have a lot of problems going on in the world.
And on that note, you should probably turn the stream off. Yeah, we're just going to dig your grave deeper and deeper at this point.
Oh my god, I don't have the picture for it. It's not the grave. It's not my grave whiskey. It's the future I chose.